Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Triple H has a major Rhea Ripley problem and he needs to fix it ASAP. Rhea Ripley has been nothing short of a revelation in WWE since her meteoric rise to stardom. From her dominating NXT run to becoming one of the most compelling superstars on the main roster, Ripley has carved out a space for herself as a true powerhouse. As a member of the Judgment Day, she's not only one of the most dominant WWE Women's Champions in recent memory, but she's also become a vital part of the company's overall product. However, this comes with a major problem that WWE's Chief Content Officer, Triple H, needs to address immediately. Rhea Ripley is becoming too dominant for her own good. While dominance in wrestling is often celebrated, there's a fine line between being an unstoppable force and becoming overexposed or overused, ultimately hurting both the character and the division they dominate. WWE has walked this line before with other superstars, and they risk doing the same with Ripley if they don't make some crucial changes soon. Here's why Triple H needs to fix the Rhea Ripley problem and how he can do it. Ripley's journey in WWE has been nothing short of remarkable. The Australian superstar made waves in NXT with her unique blend of power, athleticism, and punk rock attitude. Her matches with stars like Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, and Charlotte Flair solidified her as a top contender in the women's division. When she debuted on the main roster, Ripley quickly made an impact, capturing the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 37 by defeating Asuka. Since then, she has consistently been at the top of the card, but it wasn't until her involvement with the Judgment Day faction that she reached new heights. Teaming with the likes of Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio, Ripley embraced a more villainous persona, and it worked wonders for her career. In fact, her role in the Judgment Day has allowed her to expand beyond the women's division. Ripley is frequently seen mixing it up with the male superstars, and her dominance over not just the women's roster, but also in intergender interactions, has made her an even bigger star. But therein lies the problem. Ripley's dominance is beginning to feel imbalanced. One of the hallmarks of professional wrestling is the balance between dominance and vulnerability. Even the most dominant superstars, like John Cena, The Undertaker, or Brock Lesnar, have faced their moments of vulnerability, creating tension and keeping fans invested. Without that vulnerability, a character can become stale or, worse, too predictable. That's the problem Triple H faces with Rhea Ripley. She has run through most of the women's roster with ease, and few credible challengers remain for her. Ripley has faced the likes of Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, and Zelina Vega, but none of these opponents have been able to consistently push her to her limits. When you don't have credible competition, the allure of being the dominant champion fades. Ripley's matches are often entertaining, but there's a sense of inevitability surrounding them. Fans know that she'll most likely walk out victorious, which lowers the stakes of any feud she's in. The lack of compelling challengers is part of the issue. Triple H and WWE Creative have not built up enough strong female competitors to match Ripley's aura of invincibility. Moreover, Ripley's role within the Judgment Day, while elevating her star power, has pulled her away from meaningful competition in the women's division. Her character is heavily focused on the faction's storyline, and while this has given her a spotlight on the main event scene, it has diminished her connection to the women's title picture. WWE needs to recalibrate her role, balancing her presence in the Judgment Day with her position as the women's champion, or risk losing the impact of her reign. One of the biggest casualties of Ripley's unchecked dominance is the women's division itself. When one champion is so far ahead of the competition, it creates an imbalance in storytelling. Other superstars in the division become afterthoughts or filler opponents, and the division lacks the depth needed to sustain long-term interest. This is particularly problematic in the post-pandemic era, where WWE has seen a shift in its roster dynamics. With the departure of stars like Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, and Naomi Trinity Fatu, and the absence of Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair for extended periods, WWE has struggled to rebuild its women's division. While there is plenty of talent, like Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Bayley, few of these stars have been given the chance to shine the way Ripley has. When only one star is elevated above the rest, the division becomes stagnant. The women's division, once a focal point of WWE's programming, risks losing its momentum unless more superstars are built up to Ripley's level. Triple H has a challenging task ahead of him, maintaining Rhea Ripley's star power while also building up a strong women's division around her. Ripley is one of WWE's hottest commodities, and the last thing the company wants to do is cool her momentum. However, there are several ways to address the problem without undermining her character. 1. Build credible challengers. The most obvious solution is to build up more credible challengers for Ripley. WWE has several talented women on its roster who could be elevated to match Ripley's dominance. Raquel Rodriguez, for example, is one of the few women who can match Ripley's physicality. A long-term feud between the two, with Raquel receiving more build-up and a legitimate chance at dethroning Ripley, could create the tension and excitement the division desperately needs. Shayna Baszler, another underutilized talent, has the MMA background and ruthless in-ring style to be a serious threat to Ripley. A program between these two could produce hard-hitting, high-stakes matches, elevating both competitors. 2. Reintroduce major stars. Bringing back major stars like Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch into the title picture could reignite the women's division. Both women have a history with Ripley, and their return could provide the fresh matchups and star power needed to keep Ripley's title reign exciting. Additionally, WWE could explore bringing in NXT stars like Roxanne Perez or Tiffany Stratton to inject fresh talent into the main roster. These young competitors have the potential to shake up the division and provide Ripley with new, exciting challengers. 3. Separate the Judgment Day from the title picture. While Ripley's association with the Judgment Day has been instrumental in her rise, it may be time to separate her character from the faction to refocus her on the women's division. This doesn't mean she needs to leave the group entirely, but WWE should consider scaling back her involvement in their storylines to prioritize her reign as champion. This would give Ripley the opportunity to establish her dominance in the women's division on its own terms, without the distraction of outside storylines. Doing so could also allow the Judgment Day to explore new narratives without being tethered to Ripley's championship status. Rhea Ripley is one of WWE's brightest stars, and her dominance is a testament to her talent, hard work, and presence. However, even the most unstoppable champions need a compelling story, credible challengers, and a sense of vulnerability to keep the audience invested. Triple H has proven himself to be a master storyteller, and if anyone can find the right balance between maintaining Ripley's dominance and elevating the rest of the women's division, it's him. With the right moves, WWE can fix the Rhea Ripley problem, and in doing so, create a women's division that's more exciting and competitive than ever before.